Have you ever had a void in your heart that couldn't be filled with anything else but Christ? Hey guys, welcome to Messed Up Girl But God, and today I have another messed up girl with me who has been saved by Christ. So, welcome. This is Angel Wanjala for you.
My childhood was based on living your way, like people should not know what's wrong with you, people should not know what's going on with you. People, like, your business is your business. It's not someone else's business, you know? It's not something which other people should know. Yeah, so I grew up pretty much living the way I wanted to, because it was my business, it was no one else's business. So yeah, I was okay. I think it depends, because when I was in primary, I was an introvert, and then I spent most of my high school being an extrovert in ways. Yeah, so I think I was, you know, those people who are in class and you don't know they're in class. Back at the time when your teacher is like, so, and you, what do you think the answer is? And then people are like, hey, so this mama is in class. So yeah, the biggest thing that I struggled with was identity crisis. I didn't know who I was, who I wanted to be. So I basically lived on what other people thought I was. Hey, if people come today and they're like, hey, you're like this, you're like this, you're like, hey, okay, I'm like this. And then you go somewhere else, they're like, hey, you're like this, you're like this, you're like, hey, all right, I can also be like this. So I lived hopping from one identity to another based on what people thought was my identity or thought who I was. Yeah. I think the challenges started in, let's say, in primary. Yeah, because from around class 6, you know, things start going differently, things start changing, and I didn't know who to tell, who to talk to, who to do what. And you know, when you're in school, there are different types of people, different types of things. The way they relate to you is differently from others. So let's say, and especially if you don't know yourself, if you don't understand yourself, it's very easy for you to get hurt. It's very easy for you to be swayed, because you will live by what people want. You will live by approval of what people want. You'll keep on searching for things which you can't get from other people. Yeah, and it's just going to be so stressful. Yeah. Other things I didn't do. I think that's the question, because I don't know. I don't think I did anything major in primary, not really. But in high school, I was in elite. Shout out to everyone who was in elite. And I was in Form 1, my first term. When I joined, you know, elite, how do I say this? Elite is a school of people from very different backgrounds and very big names. So joining, I'm like, hey, Maze. You know, I remember when I went for half time, I was like, hey, you know, sijui my deski, sijui ni mtoto wa nani, I don't know this and this and this. So there was so much culture shock, because they're different people. These are people who've lived a different lifestyle from what you've lived. So you see, getting to be with such people, you drink of the same spirit, you know, like in the Bible when Paul was saying that they drink of the same spirit, so you become the same. So most of the people who I was with were people who were taking drugs, people who were taking alcohol. So it became a lifestyle. You know, you don't just start drinking, you don't just wake up in the morning and you're like, hey, Mazemi, I'm drinking from today henceforth. So things started slowly. Things start slowly with you sit with people are drinking, and then you're like, Mazemi, I'm going to take water. And then the next day you're like, okay, fine, let me try soda. And then the next time you're like, okay, fine, let me try Sprite, sijui what. And before you know it, you're drinking alcohol. Then within time, alcohol turned into weed. And there was this time I was a peddler. I know it's hard to believe, but money was coming. It was good money. It was good money, but it was, I don't know, I feel like I was looking for something which I wasn't finding. I was looking for peace and joy, which I wasn't finding anywhere because I didn't have people to talk to. You can't go to your parents. You know that age, you're that age where you can't go to your parents and then you're like, Suji, what, I'm going through this and this. And you can't go to your teachers because, no offense, my mom's a teacher, but you can't go to teachers because now it becomes a whole issue. So I would look for joy in things because it was a high, it was this high where you feel like, everything is fine, everything is happy. Ata inzi kipita hivi, it just looks funny for some reason. So I lived like that. I lived most of my life in drugs and alcohol and all those, and raving, you know. I remember, I can't even count the number of sleepovers I had to come up with so that you can go out, you know. So that's the kind of life I lived when I was in high school. And it became such a hard thing because ilifika point it started affecting my friendships, it started affecting how I was relating with people, because it looked like the more you're on the wrong side, the more you're cool, the more you're doing wrong, the more you're in, we had this thing called list of shame. And once you're in list of shame, the list of shame, it goes to boys' side, it goes to girls' side. So everyone's like, hey, there's a girl. It reached a point, I used to kneel down every day, every night. And it used to look so fun because the boys from the boys' side would be like, hey, Saseni, you know, and it looked like such a big deal because now you're getting more letters, you're getting more, people are like, hey, that's the girl, that's the mama, you know. So that's the kind of life that we pretty much lived. My turning point was when my dad passed. I know that's really funny, but yeah, because I remember I expected to feel very empty. I did, but I was at peace, you know. I was fine. I wasn't as much in pain as I thought I should be. So it got me asking, because, you know, people kept on coming, people kept on saying, oh, now, you know, God is going to be your father, I don't know what. You know, all those things people tell you before they disappear. So they used to tell us those things, and I used to wonder, kwani, you know, where is this person, where is this? So I started looking for answers like, why did it happen? What was the reason? Nini. And my mom used to be a prayerful woman. So I used to think that maybe if I pray like her, maybe I'll get answers, maybe I'll get to know why things are happening like this, why this is happening, why that is happening. So I started going to church with her. That's when I started going to church. I started going to church with her because I wanted to know how can I talk to this God? How can I ask him these questions? And I figured that maybe that was the way. So with time, I got to have friends, I got to have people, and I got to start understanding things in a better way. I got to start feeling that space, that void. You know, when you lack self-esteem and when you practically rely on people, there's always that space you're trying to fill. There's always that person you're trying to please. There's always that. So I was in this kind of environment where I don't have to please anyone. I don't have to do something bad because, you know, so that people can see who I am, so that people can notice who I am. So it actually felt nice for once, where you're not just doing something because someone wanted to do it. So I found a home, and I think one thing led to another, and then, yeah. And it was very hard. That's why I'd advise people who haven't taken drugs and everything not to try it, because the process of stopping becomes harder and harder. The deeper you go into it, the harder it is to stop. Because now everybody kept calling, you know, me, I'm here, I'm trying to try being born again. This person is calling me, he's like, hey Maze, I heard you sell the best weed, sijui nini. And that time you're broke, you don't have money, and this person wants to give you money for a blunt. You know, it becomes really hard because now you have to start weighing, I'm a woman of God, lakini this money, nini. So yeah, it was hard. It was really hard because now you start dropping friends, you know? People won't hang around with you now when you're killing the party, people won't hang around with you. So I had to start losing people. I had to start shedding people off, or people shedding me off one way or another, because you get a call, someone is asking you to go out, and you're like, hey Maze, sijui I'm going for a kesha. And someone will be like, hey, you know what, I'll hit you up later, and that's the end. That's how it ends. So that's what happened. That was my turning point. It actually took a tragedy for me to wake up and turn things around.